Good day and welcome to this video blog, updating your continuous monitoring system for the right time and the right reason. Today we're talking specifically about the Vaisala viewLinc monitoring system, and we welcome Senior Project Engineer John Coen. Hello, John.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. This was a video blog by request. Um, People have lots of questions about when and how and why to update their software, as we do have software updates for viewLinc. It's under a continuous development cycle, as most softwares are. We live in a world of softwares, they're ubiquitous. So we all know we often have to update our phones and our computers, sometimes TVs and cars, and they're important. There's always code fixes, security updates, sometimes even some new features. So, can you tell us a little bit about how you help viewLinc users update their software?
Yeah, absolutely. With the monitoring system, the updates are a little bit different than your other devices and software that you're used to using. Um, you know, Updates are important and necessary. Sometimes they kind of happen in the background with some of our devices and software. Sometimes they're a nuisance for us when our phone's trying to update every day. And then other times there's like important enhancements, features, and things that we're looking forward to as part of it. So, we kind of all interact with these updates in different ways. Um, but with your monitoring system, there's some important differences that I think are good to talk about and let people know about. Um, the monitoring system is a closed system that's designed to comply with FDA 21 CFR Part 11. And we have things like access control that are built into it, audit trails, data integrity is paramount with these systems. And when it comes to updates, you're deciding when to update. So, you may not want an automatic update. You might want to pick and choose the time that you do your updates. The monitoring system is validated, and we spend a significant amount of time and resources and money qualifying and documenting the installation, operation, and performance of the system. Any kind of updates or modifications that we do to that system really need to happen under change control. And, of course, the monitoring system is critical. We really have to maintain the uptime and functionality of the system and, ensure that we stay in a validated state with the system. So there's really again, some additional requirements here when it comes to updating your monitoring system. We really want to make sure that we back our system up prior to any upgrades. In case we run into any issues during the upgrade, or if anything goes wrong, we want to be able to roll back to a time when the system was functioning as intended. So backing up, critical. And again, there's that change control process that we need to open as part of updating our software.
Hmm.
And when you do the update, because it's a validated system, there's going to be some amount of validation that goes along with the update. Either, maybe some partial validation, or maybe you need to do a full validation because you're doing a major update or you're moving from an old server to a new server. And beyond all that, there's maybe some additional testing and documentation that's specific to your requirements or your use case. Um, like I mentioned before, there's more complexity if you are moving to a new server as part of the process as well. So with all this additional effort and the criticality of this system, we really want to be kind of selective about the upgrade reasons and the timing of it, which again, that's what we're here to talk about today. So you want to update for the right reasons. And, you can kind of break down your reasons into different categories. You may have something really critical that is causing you to want to do an update. There's a code fix that's crucial, or a security enhancement that you really need. Anything that's affecting your system's ability to do its job, those are important updates that we want to do. And then, you go to less critical things, but that are still important things that are like new enhancements and features that are going to be important to your use case with the system, in your use case, the way you apply the system. Um, and then, there's some optional updates, things that are like nice to have, um, enhancements that maybe make things a little more streamlined, make your life a little easier, save some of your time. Maybe there's a new hardware option that you want to be able to use with the system for, when you're expanding it. So you really want to consider all those reasons and then weigh it against the risk and the effort and the cost of doing the update.
Right. So it sounds like it's not a one size fits all solution for a viewLinc customer. Um, People really need to ask themselves these questions before they go forward into it. And we do send out software updates. It's part of our lifecycle maintenance agreement. Um, and we have to send those out to people and let them know. But when somebody gets one of these service update emails, uh, what can they do? Can they call you and go through some of these questions with you so that you can guide them through what they should look at and make sure that they're not missing any questions?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, again, we regularly send out these emails, letting people know when we have updates periodically.
Mhm.
And we really document everything very, very completely in terms of, hey, here's some code fixes that have happened. Here's some features we've added. Maybe we've added some new hardware functionality, things like that. It's all,
Mhm.
well documented and detailed. In addition to that, we have an errata on our website
Mm.
where we go into, those changes, but also some recommendations around validation if you were to perform the update. Um, so that's kind of all well documented and available. But oftentimes, like, for example, I have, a customer who received that email and they called me, maybe a newer viewLinc user, and they were, hey, there's a new update. I would love to do this.
Mhm.
What do you think? Why wouldn't I do this?
Right.
And yeah, and the question was, okay, yeah, did you review those updates? Like, was there something in there that kind of called out to you, hey, we like this new feature, or, or we were talking to your tech support team and we noticed that there's a bug that we're worried, about impacting us. Um, and in this customer case, they said, no, actually, the system's great. It's functioning the way we want.
Mm.
We haven't had any issues. Um, and I said, okay, well, I think that maybe we could take a look at what's happening, down the line. Maybe there's a new feature coming or a new enhancement coming that would more warrant you doing an update at that time. And
Mm.
then, of course, doing that additional validation effort that's going to be required as part of that. Um, we have, as in the sales team here, we have regular meetings with our development teams where we have a direct line to them, and we know kind of what are the features and enhancements that are coming, and we can help customers to kind of consult and prioritize what's going to be important for them with those.
Yeah, I recently had an email from our product manager, and he wanted me to show evidence that one of our viewLink customers had received a software service update early in the year. And the reason was they were being audited by a third party to see if they were getting the messages. So I was able to show him, yeah, this email was sent to this person on this date. It was opened, and he was happy with that, and the customer was happy with that. But that brings up a question that I wonder if some of our customers have it built into their quality management system that for certain critical applications, if there's software, computerized systems involved in those applications, they must be updated when a certain level of critical code fix or security update comes. Do you think that's the case?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, being on the sales side of things here, we often receive user requirement specs from our
Okay.
customers, and you'll see requirements like that built in. You know,
Huh.
that because the system's so critical, that they have all these processes in place around it to ensure that the system's going to be up and running and that there's a clear path to resolving issues if they do pop up. That yeah, that's a very common customer requirement. And as you said, you know, at Vaisala, we make sure our customers are in the loop about all those changes.
And oftentimes they, correct me if I'm wrong, but oftentimes they are driving some of the changes because our customers communicate with you and with our technical support team to the engineering team to say, I think this isn't working for us, or this would work better, or I think I might have found code that needs fixing. Isn't that right?
Yeah, absolutely. I can think of I have a customer who's in cell and gene therapy who wanted some changes to the way that our alarm reports came out of the system.
Hmm.
And I was able to work with our tech support team on that and say, hey, is this something we can do with the existing version of viewLinc that they have? And basically, we said, you know, we can kind of work around this, but let's take this to the development team and make
Mm.
it part of a future release
Right.
exactly the way that this customer wants. And then, you know, within a few months, we have that feature available for the customer.
Right. So the squeaky wheel gets the grease, but it can serve other customers. Like if this guy's, it's like the one guy in the crowd that says, "Excuse me," and asks for I'm just dreaming. So I'm going to make sure that there's a link to our service support page down in the transcript below. I have another question about validation. You mentioned that the system is usually, not always, but usually validated um, for GxP regulated applications. Validation can be expensive, although I know that our system makes it pretty easy where we have our IQ and you work with customers to help them with that. But it seems like when there's an update, we give the customer information on how to validate only those sections that have been updated so they don't have to do like a complete operational qualification. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. So that errata page on our website will basically for our full software IQOQ, which is, you know, quite a long document because it tests all of the major important things about the software. It recommends specific sections in there that you would re-execute as part of a software upgrade, just to make sure that that core functionality has been retested and you know that the system is working as intended after an update.
Right.
Yeah.
And that I'll link again to the service update page, and also there you can find the PDF of uh the errata document. Okay. So I think we want to keep this brief, not bore people with us talking about our software, but if you have any questions, viewers, readers, please do contact us. And if you're not in America's regions, we have versions of John, John and our tech support guys all over the world in offices in Japan and throughout Europe and Latin America. So please reach out to us with any questions that you have. And thanks, John. Thanks for sharing, taking a bit of time for us today to share your knowledge on updating viewLinc.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm happy to help. And, you know, this is part of every day of my work is talking about software updates and enhancements and validation. So happy to talk about it.
Okay. Thanks and take care. Send us your questions.
Thank you.